Hello, hello, Thriving Therapist. How are you? And welcome back to our Thriving Thursday Facebook Live at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. I am super excited because today we have a very special guest. Andrea is with us all the way from Connecticut today, and she is going to be telling us all about how she built her thriving practice in about 6 months. Is that correct, Andrea?
Yes. It's been about 6 months.
Yep. Oh my God. Well, welcome to our Facebook Live today. Thank you for taking the time. We're going to ask you a few questions about your success and how you moved from a $4,000 a month salary to over $20,000 a month with your solo private practice. So
Great.
Congratulations. And tell us a little bit about your background, what your expertise is. Help us get to know you.
Oh, sure. So I am a licensed clinical social worker. I've been in the field for 9 years, and for 8 of those years, I've worked in hospitals, basically doing hospice and palliative care.
Oh,
so
okay.
Lots of end of life care and planning. In July, actually it was July 1st, I resigned from that job and went into a group private practice.
Okay.
And that was a private practice that I had been part-time evenings, just to supplement the hospital job. And so I decided to move full-time into the private practice group.
Okay.
So yeah, that's kind of how it started.
They filled your caseload for you, but they were taking a percentage cut, correct?
Correct. Yes. Yes.
And then around the fall in September, you signed up for my course on how to build a thriving practice. And at the same time, you signed up for one-on-one coaching with me. You really made a big investment in yourself and in your future. So tell us a little bit about how that was the turning point for you and why you decided to make that investment.
Sure. So that's where pretty much 2 important concepts came in for me. First of all, the first one was desire. The desire to make my own schedule, to have more autonomy, to really shape the practice in the way that I envisioned it. I kept in mind that there is no perfection, only purpose.
Oh, I love that.
And also I was certainly hesitant, but I realized that in shaping this mindset for this practice, that the walls that used to be protecting me were actually now holding me back.
Wow. I remember working with you in the beginning, and there was a lot of, as we all experience it, we all feel a lot of fear in like all the what ifs. Like, what if we do this and we build it and nobody comes and we can't fill our caseload? Or how will I ever secure really substantial referral sources? I remember you talking to me about your very first referral source being your own doctor, and how you were like, maybe I should just mention that I have a practice and that I'm open to taking some of their patients. And I was like, absolutely, yes, you should do that.
Yeah, I remember that. That wasn't that long ago.
I know. Fall. I mean, when you think about it, it's been miraculous growth for you. And
Yes.
This is something else that I'm very curious about. So you also mentioned to me, and you guys should know that once in a while, some of my students will DM me little updates, and I love it so much because it's like so exciting to hear the progress. And Andrea and I are super early birds. So every once in a while at like 6 a.m., I'll see a message come through from her, and she's like, guess what's happening? I have like 50 people on my caseload now. And then she's also shared some struggle questions that she's had along the way too. So that's been, great because I can just hop in there and give her a little extra support. But yeah, tell us a little bit about your Zoom strategy. You were doing some Zoom interviews with some of your referral sources. I thought that was brilliant.
Yes. So this is where the second concept came in, which is taking action. Um, I decided that if I was gonna go for this, I was gonna do it right.
Mm-hmm.
And and with the networking, I struggled a bit with the networking. I'm an introvert, not really liking to put myself out there.
Yep.
So I really struggled with that.
Mm-hmm.
But what I decided to do was to set up 15-minute Zoom calls with people that I thought would be potential referral sources.
Okay. And how did you do that? How did you get their like attention to do that? And if you guys also, if you have questions for us along the way, drop any questions you have in the comments. We'll answer them today. But tell us how you got their attention with the Zoom interview.
Pretty much what I did was I called the office, explained to them that I was a new provider in the area,
Mm-hmm.
and wondered if I could have just 15 minutes of the doctor's time or the prescriber's time.
Yep.
And, whether that was early in the morning or late at night when they were done with their day. And I could just talk to them and introduce them to the services. And then I would follow up with sending them business cards.
That is so great. And you had a lot of luck with that because you're making a personal connection. So I think sometimes we're so afraid to reach out to a referral source and pitch something like that. But what Andrea did that made it work, I think, is that she suggested that she wanted to make this very personal connection. So a lot of times people will just make the mistake of doing like a cold mailing, and they'll just send out letters and send out business cards and kind of hope for the best and see if it sticks to the wall. But Andrea went the extra mile. And I'll have to tell you guys, in the beginning of working with her, when we did our coaching together, she was nervous about making these, reaching out. Like you just heard her say, she's more of an introvert. And she was like, I don't know if I have the, energy and motivation and kind of confidence to actually get out there and do that. But to do this and to go out and to interview these doctors and say, here's what kind of services I have, is a brilliant way to make a personal connection. And she also offered it at time slots at the beginning or end of their day. And that made a big difference, I'm sure, in their willingness to be available to that. So that was really smart. So tell me, we also have a question here. It says, are you taking any insurances currently? So do you do all private pay or are you on insurance panels?
No, I'm on insurance panels as well.
Okay.
I'm on 6 panels.
Mm-hmm.
I've found that in Connecticut, the highest paying panels and also the most common panels were Medicare, Medicaid, United Healthcare, Cigna, Aetna, and Anthem.
And this is a process, you guys. So if you do want to start doing insurance, you want to get that process started as soon as possible, because it
Yes.
can take just a few weeks or it can take a few months to get on those. So it can be kind of a longer process. I have a mixed group in my own practice. I do some insurance, some private pay, and I like that. I like the variation of it. And some people do exclusive private pay, some people do exclusive insurance. So that's also the beauty of, doing private practice work, is that we have the freedom. So speaking of freedom, I want to talk a little bit about what this has done for you financially. It's created what you told me earlier, when we were chatting about this interview, is that it's really freed up a lot of anxiety and worry that you had about financial, situations and your income and like being able to afford your big dreams. So I would love to hear a little bit more about what that's all about.
Sure. Well, the ultimate goal of the therapy, and I should mention that right now I'm doing all telehealth.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have an office, and I figured starting out, why incur the expense if I'm not sure I'm going to use it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And there's no overhead. It's never been easier for us to start practices, and it's never been easier for people to access therapy. you can tune in from anywhere. You've got strong Wi-Fi. So I always tell everybody this has never been easier. You know, it's a great time. Your clients can access you and you can access them.
Yes. So, the big dream that I have, is that I love horses. I have a horse. I actually board her right now, in the area. But what I really want to do is start equine assisted therapy. And how I would like to do that is by purchasing a small 3 to 4 acre farm in Connecticut, and getting those horses.
God, wouldn't that be amazing? It's so exciting. I remember you mentioning this dream. It was almost like a little whisper that you had in the very beginning of working with you. And you were like, one day, you know, it was like a little secret. And you were like, one day I really want to do this. And now it feels like something that's within your grasp. So that's incredible. I mean, it's amazing what this has given you. You know, tons of freedom with your own schedule, tons of freedom financially. I mean, it's truly amazing. So it looks like we have another question about, are those insurance panels not requiring you to have a physical location for your service address? I know that people are using virtual addresses. Oh yeah, so how do you handle that? A lot of people use their home address or a virtual address for insurance, for telehealth.
Yes. I actually used my home address. It was just easier because the checks come to my house. All of the insurance companies use the address for correspondence. So it was just easier to have things come to the home.
Right. Now, tell me a little bit, just jumping tracks, tell me a little bit about how full your caseload is now. So you started your solo private practice, which is called Journey to Wellness. If you guys want to Google her website, she worked very hard on building up her brand. And you started that October 1st, right? Was the official
October 1st. Yes.
So it hasn't been that long. And how many people do you have on your caseload now?
Actually, on my caseload right now, I have 49 clients that 49 slots that I see weekly.
Wow.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
And actually, I got call number 54 today.
Oh my God.
So now there's officially a waiting list and some transitions being made.
Yes, and I think we need to think about that, because before you guys know it, your private practice is going to be full. And then what do you do? So I would love to hear from you guys. If you're tuning in live or if you're catching this on the replay, just put #replay in the comments. And I would love to circle back and see what you do when your caseload is full. Do you have a wait list? Do you consider hiring someone to work maybe in a group practice? So that's actually what happened to me during the pandemic. In the beginning of the pandemic, I was already full and I already had a wait list. And then the calls kept coming in and I thought, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? I just can't keep, keeping a wait list forever. So I decided to go ahead and form a group practice, and I brought on a therapist to work with me. And then she quickly filled her caseload, and now I have 2 more under her. So it's amazing. We have 4 in our team now, and it feels great not to have to say no to any referrals that come through the door. And we can serve a larger population. So it's just a wonderful thing. So, these are good problems to have, and you might have them very quickly too, just like Andrea did, because just in a short amount of time, only a few months, you had a very full private practice, solo private practice. Yeah.
Yes.
So tell me, you said a couple really important things in the very beginning, that you were talking about not trying to do everything perfectly, but trying to remember your purpose.
Yep.
And you were talking about taking fast action, which is a thing that I'm always teaching my students too in my courses and my coaching. It's like, take quick action. Just keep the momentum going, because you can always go back and change things later. You can always edit things later. So tell us a little bit about how that taking fast action showed up for you, or what happened there when you were taking fast action.
Actually, I just basically, actually, with Megan's encouragement, I just kept moving. I just kept going.
Mm-hmm.
It and you're saying about perfection is really perfect, is really appropriate, because it does not have to be perfect. It just
Right.
has to be out there.
Yep. Yep.
It can
Just
be
have to have the
changed. It can be changed later.
That's right. And I think I would rather have people start something and make improvements to it or edit it or change it later than not do it at all. So that's a great tip to remember too. So just in wrapping up here, you also then actually, after you did the course and you did the coaching and now your caseload is full, you're considering expanding and having some additional streams of income. So that brought you to Elevate, which is our membership for the Thriving Therapist community. So tell us kind of, what is your big dream in terms of, what do you think you want to build in terms of an additional stream of income? You know, in addition to your private practice, maybe you're creating some sort of passive income for yourself.
Well, that is actually the next thought and the next step.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking that with the demand for clinicians, I would definitely like to hire someone
Mm-hmm.
to help me with the calls I'm getting.
Yeah.
But also, I'm thinking of ways of making some additional money, doing something a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do yet, but I'm kind of working through that, and
Mm-hmm.
we'll definitely be looking forward to see what other people are doing in the Elevate group,
Mm-hmm.
for passive income.
Yes. Oh, it's been such a fun experience to see all the energy in that group, because everyone's talking about kind of all different big dreams, big brainstorming, and it's a really fun time to be in there because everyone's kind of turning their wheels at the same time, and there's a lot of support and encouragement. Well,
Yes.
Andrea, I just can't thank you enough. I'm so excited for your success, and you have just made an amazing stride here from the beginning of your journey in September, October to now. I mean, to go from 4,000 a month to 20,000 a month is no small task. So bravo to you. You absolutely killed it. And I'm so excited to see what you do next. And I can't wait to see pictures of your beautiful horse farm.
Thank you so much. Thank you for taking the time to have me today.
I'm so glad. Thank you
Wonderful.
for taking the time. All right, you guys, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments and we'll circle back and answer them for you at another time. Thanks again for tuning in. Thank you, Andrea.
Thank you.